Can you beat hard 111 without any high DPS champs to one-shot the Siphi? Yes. What is going on, Raiders? Soda Dragon here, back with another quick video to get through a particular level in the Doomtower, and today it is 111. I got multiple comments saying that people were having difficulty with 111, especially because they don't have those high DPS champs to one-shot the Siphi. So Seer, Little Miss Annie, Inquisitor Shamael, people like that. If you don't have really high DPS champs, it is very hard to get through this level. But I will show you how to get through it without those champs. So here is your team, guys. Check it out. Yes, Rosin. That's not a mistake. Rosin is an integral part to this team. Why? Because not only does he have a 100% turn meter decrease with this A3, which is awesome. So he's basically like a crowd control champion if you think about it. His A2 brings defense down and weaken. Both strong versions, both in one move. Now it is single target, but that one move also packs a punch. We are gonna hammer Siphi with that A2. Now, no, we're not gonna one-shot her, but we're gonna take her down quickly. So the huge part of that second wave with Siphi is controlling Siphi. And I'll talk about this more a little bit when we get to the strategy right before we go through the run. But yes, Rosin is huge. Plus his A3 removes buffs, huge, all right? So trust me when I say this. He is a huge integral part to this team. So who else do we got here? Sylar for turn meter control. She has that strong version, decreased speed, also the decreased accuracy. We have Drex in the lead. So we're gonna put him in the lead because he has that accuracy aura, really nice. He does have that AoE provoke, strong version attack down, and also bring in those HP burns. Now he's not the best HP burner if you can't get people to hit you, okay? So he's not the best, but he's accessible. That's what I'm really trying to go for here, more accessible. Silver Drakes, she is healing every round. We will need her to revive. You're gonna see that in the second wave with Siphi and double Rotos. Yes, some people will die, and so we're gonna need her to revive. So her revive actually works really well in this comp with that ally protection. Plus she has a turn meter reduction on her A1. We're gonna make use of that as well. And then we have Vizix here. She is a crowd control goddess. So her A3, 100% chance to land a provoke. We're not gonna use her A2 too much, her ally protection, because she's gonna end up dying. She really can't take that much damage. She can't take the damage from all those provokes plus ally protection damage. So we're not gonna use her A2. We're just gonna use her A1 with a turn meter reduction and her A3, that AoE provoke. Really nice on a 3-turn cooldown when booked. So this is your team. Yes, it can get you through 111 hard. All right, guys, on to everyone's gear stats and masteries, starting with Vizix. So I'm just gonna go through these really quickly. So here for Vizix, I have her in an Immortal and a Regeneration set. On to her total stats. So for health, I have her at 51,000, for her attack 1,800, the defense 2,900, speed 199, crit rate 56%, crit damage 121, debuff resistance 202, and debuff accuracy 348. On to her masteries. So down the offense tree, we do have War Master here, but this is primarily for using her for bosses. You don't really need War Master for the enemy waves, even hard Doomtower, upper level enemy waves. You really don't need War Master. It doesn't make too much of a difference, that bonus damage. You need huge HP health pools in order for War Master to really kick in and do a lot of damage. Here you can go Fearsome Presence if you want to put a CC set on your Vizix, like a stun set or a sleep set, to get an additional chance with her AoEs and also her basic attack to get that CC ability. So this is another good choice if you want to go that route. Here we do have Lasting Gifts. This is primarily for her ally protection if you want to extend that. And Master Hexer here for extending the debuff. So she does have that strong version, decreased speed on her A2. But really, all of this for this particular level, this is pretty much all you need right here, these three. This just increases her accuracy. If you have enough accuracy to land her A3 provoke, that's really all you need. You don't really even need masteries for her for this particular level. On to Drexstar. So I have him in a regeneration and perception set. On to his total stats. So I have him at 65,000 health. I have the attack at 1,600. I have the defense at 3,100. I have his speed at 230. I have the crit rate 26%, crit damage 103%. I have a debuff resistance to 352, that is, and the debuff accuracy at 342. So really, this debuff resistance, you do not need it that high, but yes, you do need high accuracy. You're looking 300 plus to consistently land debuffs in the Doomtower. Now, it does help to use that accuracy aura that he has, and we will definitely make use of it. So that gives you a little bit of leeway in your characters in making them sub 300 accuracy, because Drex with his accuracy aura is going to buff them in that area. Onto his masteries. I'm just going to highlight the important ones regarding level 111. So here we have Sniper, so this is increasing the chances of landing debuffs. In particular, we want to increase the chance of landing his HP burn, because his A1 and his passive do not have a 100% chance to land that HP burn. So the more burns we get out, the better, right? So definitely this is a good choice for him. This will not increase the chance of landing his provoke, unfortunately, but we do want him for his HP burns to slowly tick away at those waves and kill them off. Here, Master Hexer, this is for extending the duration of those HP burns. So that is one of the primary ways that we're doing damage with HP burns. So we're increasing the chances of landing them, and we're increasing the duration of those HP burns when they do land. On to Seal of the Drake. So how is she geared? I have her in a Relentless and an Immortal set. On to her total stats. So the health is 75,000. We have the attack at 1800. The defense 2900, we have the speed 204, crit rate 29%, crit damage 143%, resistance 141, and we have the debuff accuracy at 241. So remember when I said Drex, we're going to make use of his accuracy aura. So plus 70 in all battles. So that pushes Seal up over 300 with that aura. So like I said, you have a little bit of flexibility with the accuracy numbers for the characters if you use Drex with his aura for accuracy. Onto her masteries, I'll just highlight those relevant to 111. So here we have two masteries that increase her healing amount, that passive healing amount, really nice. Spirit Haste, so here when somebody dies, she gets a speed boost, really nice, so you can speed her up and hopefully revive that person all the faster. And Sniper here, this is for her A1 strong version decreased speed. So we definitely want that to land in particular on Siphi. So we want multiple ways to keep Siphi slow, which I'll talk about later, but we do not want her to take turns. So this helps out a lot in keeping Siphi slow. On to Rosin. So how is he geared? I have him in a Relentless and an Immortal set. On to his total stats. So here I have him at 40,000 health. I have the attack at 1800, the defense at 3900. Speed 192, crit rate 89%, crit damage 161%, debuff resistance 148, and debuff accuracy 263. Remember, plus that 70 from Drex's aura. Now that crit rate and crit damage, actually do want that to be there. You want to build him for damage because he has good damage potential, and we're using him for his damage and his debuffs. So try to fit in that crit rate, crit damage, and defense because his damage is based on defense. So yes, we are using him for his damage. On to his masteries. So here we want Helm Smasher. So this gives a chance for him to ignore defense, right? He has a 50% chance of ignoring 25% of defense, which is huge. Once again, we want him to do damage, right? Now, we're not talking about bosses. This doesn't really work that well against bosses. This is more for enemy waves, arena, things like that. So Helm Smasher is where you want to go for your damage down the offense tree. And here we're looking at Retribution. We do want that. He's going to take big hits. Those Rotos hit hard. And when he does, he has a really good chance of counterattacking with Retribution. So make sure you pick up Helm Smasher and Retribution. On to Sylar. So what's her gear? I have her in a stun set and a speed set. On to her total stats. So for her health 4800, I have the attack at 2100, defense at 2400, speed 270. So remember, for hard Doomtower, especially those upper levels, we're looking at getting faster than 264 because that's the fastest person in the hard Doomtower. That's Siphi, which we're going to face in level 111. So make sure you are faster than 264 with that initial champ that is allowing the rest of your team to go. So whether or not it's Sylar, it can be Vizix, it can be Syl, it can be Gnarlhorn, it could be whoever with that crowd control ability that you want to go first to crowd control people and let your team take their turns. Whoever that is, they have to be faster than 264. It doesn't have to be Sylar. So crit rate 54%, crit damage 104%, debuff resistance 120, and debuff accuracy 276 plus Drex's aura. On to her masteries. So here, make sure to pick up Retribution. Once again, if she takes a big hit, that she has a chance to AoE with her A1, and because we're putting her in a stun set, she has a chance to stun, everybody. Now the chances are low, but still, she has that chance because of that AoE that she's using. So really good to have an AoE person with Retribution with a stun set. Plus, here, we're looking at Fearsome Presence, plus 5% chance to get that stun off from the stun set. So that works well with Retribution. Also works well with deterrence as well. So if someone gets crowd controlled, if someone gets stunned, slept, frozen, whatever, then Sylar has a chance to just throw out her A1. So really good. These three work really well together in conjunction with the stun set. And lastly here, we have Master Hexer. This is primarily for her decreased speed. She has a strong version decreased speed. So we want to potentially extend that from 2 turns to 3 turns. All right, guys, on to the strategy. So really, what are we looking at doing for wave 1? Now, this is a manual run if you guys haven't guessed. So the first wave, we have double Rotos to deal with. So what do we do with them? Well, we crowd control them. There is no Siphi to remove their debuffs, so we can crowd control them. So that's what we'll do. You crowd control them to the best of your ability. Now, what I'm really concerned about is the Rotoses have a decreased max HP skill, and I really don't want that popping off too much against my team. Once, maybe twice, ideally none. So if they're getting that move off on a lot of your team, just consider resetting the run, because that's not the best way to go into round 2 with Siphi double Rotos, having a lot of your max HP decreased. So like I said, if you're getting a lot of that happening in wave 1, just restart. It might be just bad RNG, because ideally we want to go into round 2 with as little of that going on, that is a decreased max HP, and everybody at full health. So what about round 2? Really, the name of the game is controlling Siphi. You cannot allow her even once to do her whirlwind romance. So where she increases everyone's defense, puts increased speed, block debuffs. We cannot have that happen even once. She is the sole focus. Now the little Miss Annies, they can be crowd controlled, and we will with our AoEs, but it is all about Siphi. It is all about Siphi. She needs to be crowd controlled the whole time. Not even once can she do that whirlwind romance. Plus, we got Rosin coming in with that decreased defense and that weaken and that big hit. So Rosin is going to do a ton of damage against Siphi. Now, it's not one shot, but it makes a huge difference. So even with Siphi's passive, when she's healing herself 10% at the start of each turn, and everybody else, really, we can still kill her off. Once we have that decreased defense and weaken, and Rosin coming in with those big hits, and basically everyone hitting harder because of that defense, decreased defense and weaken, yes, we can kill her. So don't worry about the Rotoses. You will get your revenge. Once Siphi is dead and we can start crowd controlling them, then you will get your revenge. But until then, you just let them do their thing. Okay? Sometimes people will die. For some reason, they usually focus on Rosin. For me, for you, it could be another character. Just revive them and continue on crowd controlling Siphi. And remember, you have that Terminator reduction with Vizix and with Syl. Use that against Siphi. Siphi must die first and must never get off that whirlwind romance. If you can kill her first, then you got a great shot at everybody else. And round 3, just kill Gagorb first. That's pretty much it. All right, guys, that is it for today. It has been a great pleasure for me to reintroduce Rosin to you. Yes, he is an absolute stud. He has always been from the beginning. Power creep. He doesn't know what that means. Rosin can get you through 111. So definitely make use of him. I'm sure most of you guys, if you're mid-game players, you have already fused him. Pull him out of your vaults. Use him. He can get you past 111. So if this is something new you haven't seen before, because I haven't seen it before, beating the Siphi Rotos combo without some sort of high DPS champ like Seer, Shamael, Turvold, Little Miss Annie, etc. If this is something new you haven't seen, make sure to like and subscribe and share this, all right? Because once again, I'm all about getting you through the Doomtower with accessible characters.